Hello, and welcome to another broadcast with Gian. Watching this program, you are going to be inspired, challenged, and enlightened. Now, let me introduce to you our host, Gian.
Do you work in the private sector or do you work for the government? Do you work for the city? Are you a freelancer? Are you your own boss? Perhaps you have your own business. It doesn't matter really. Every day you will experience challenges in your life and you will have questions and you will feel like you would like to hear from somebody else. What do they have to say about that particular situation? And the same thing happens in our homes. The same thing happens not just with your own life, but your family, your children, and you have questions. And sometimes we make the mistake of going to ask or talk about this particular situation with someone that is not precisely the best person to give us any kind of advice. And we all find ourselves occasionally precisely in that spot, don't we? Well, one thing that we need to be very, very sure is that we are not going to hear advice from somebody that is not a good example. So imagine, you don't have a job, you are looking for employment. Are you going to be talking with someone that doesn't have a job and has not been employed for a long period of time? It doesn't look like it's a good example to you. Or if you are an entrepreneur, will you be talking with someone who doesn't have a good business, doesn't make enough money, is just barely surviving? It doesn't look like it's a good example. Well, imagine this. Whatever kind of personal problems you have, it applies the same rule. You cannot get good advice from someone that doesn't have a good life, whose life is not a good example. But why is it that we go and talk to people like that? Well, sometimes it happens that they are the ones available because we are trying to talk to somebody, and those who are good examples or they have good lives seems to be too busy. And we just want to talk with somebody. If you are just venting your problems with somebody, that's okay. But you must be aware that whenever you are talking with somebody, venting your problems, more likely that person is going to tell you something. More likely that person is going to give you some sort of advice and will say, well, what if you do this? What if you say that? Therefore, the key is in finding the right source for your options, good advice. And in that case, you need to look at the life of that person. If you are an entrepreneur, you are a business person, you need to find someone that is in business for a good period of time and is successful in whatever the business is. It doesn't matter if it's not too big business, but it's just if it's a good business, if the person is making a good living and has a good experience, that could be a great source for advice. Imagine you are struggling with your health. You have health difficulties. Would you talk to somebody that is sick about those things? No. You need to speak with someone that has good health, someone that his own experience, by her own experience, you can tell that is doing what is right, taking care of his body or her body. Applies to everything. Unfortunately, some people keep going in that direction, talking to the wrong person about their problems. Do not make that mistake. You need to be humble and accept your situation. If you need help, well, you will need to pay the price. And what is that price? Well, sometimes there are counselors that they will be more than willing to work with you, but you will need to pay a fee by the hour. You will need to get into the whole process of an interview, fill out an application, and wait until this person has time available for you. Sometimes is somebody is specialized in diets, or I don't know, financial counseling, advisors that are available. But if you don't have the money available, you will find wise people around you. Open your eyes. Look around. You might have a great source of advice very near you, a good friend, perhaps a relative. You know, it doesn't matter if the person doesn't have a degree. Just look at their lives. The lifestyle of someone will tell you if that person is a good example for you or not. Not necessarily experts in certain field are fully successful in all aspects of life. In fact, you know what? I myself, I found that in my life I made so many mistakes, I failed in many things, and I have learned lessons. So at some point probably nobody will say, hey, what can you tell me about this? I was not a good example, perhaps, in that particular field, but there are other fields where I was still good at it when I was failing in other aspects of my life. The same thing is with those who can give you advice. The advice that you are looking for, answers that you want for questions you may have, they should come from the person who is experienced about that particular field, my friend. What is the question you have today? Well, find somebody in that particular field that is successful, that has is a good example for you of how to run things in that particular field, and then pay the price. Get an appointment. Many of those individuals that are good at certain things not necessarily are going to be charging people by the hour unless they are professionals in giving advice. But most people, whether it's someone that has a good health, or someone that has a good marriage, or somebody that has a good business, they are people that are grateful and also humble enough to say, you know what, God is the source of my success. And many of them are willing to help other people, as long as those who need help are humble enough. In that case, my friend, you need to have a good way to approach the person. Be humble, be meek, work with their schedule, work with their availability. And whenever they give you an appointment, don't miss the opportunity. Come to the appointment on time, whether it's online or in person, phone call, video chat, whatever the way is. Be punctual. Follow the great examples life of this advisor, because this person knows what he's talking about. But if you are going just to go to talk and vent and hoping that this person will tell you what you want to hear, I think it's a waste of time. That is why many people do not overcome problems in life. Are you one of those still stuck in the same issue? And you still are wondering why nobody wants to give you good advice? Well, perhaps you have had opportunities, but you just want to hear what you want to hear. You don't want to hear the truth. Therefore, if you find a good advisor, take advantage of him. Take advantage of that lady, of that family, those friends who care for you. Be punctual, be respectful, have a good approach. That will help you tremendously in your life.
Thank you for watching another broadcast with Gian. The schedule of this program: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Check the website mygiancarlo.com for more videos. We hope to see you soon. you.